Right, here's a nice question. It sort of pushes your understanding of ions and moles of things. So I'll just do one of them. Maybe I'll do the first one. And you have to figure out which has the smallest number of ions. So you have to do actually quite a bit of work for each question. So let's do this first one here. So first, I've got sodium sulfate. Let's write it out. So it's sodium and sulfate. Sodium's a 1 plus, sulfate's a 2 minus, so we need two of those. Okay, sodium sulfate. And then it says I have to know how many ions there are. Okay, so to know how many of something is, what they're looking for is how many moles of something they have. Okay, so I need to find moles. So moles is equal to mass over molar mass. Okay, I don't have a mass though. Let's see, my other formula, C equals N over V, also has moles in it. And I need a concentration, oh, which I have, and a volume, oh, which I have. Let's use this formula. So C equals N over V, and I have to solve for N, so I'll move the V to the other side. So it'll be moles is equal to C times V. So the concentration is 1.0 moles per liter, that's that, times the volume, oh, it's milliliters, change that 3 to the left, so it'd be 0.2971 liters. Liters cancel, so the number of moles is 1 times that is just going to be that, 0.2971 moles. Now, here you have to be careful because this is how many moles of this you have. But if you put that in water, which it's giving you a concentration, so we're assuming it's in water, I might have a different number of ions. So this Na2SO4, that would be a compound, but I know that it dissociates. So I have Na2SO4. Like we did in class, if I put that in water, it dissociates into sodium ions and sulfate ions. Okay, and now there's a 2 there, so I need to put a 2 here. So if I have 1 mole of sodium sulfate, it produces 2 moles of sodium ions and 1 mole of sulfate ions. So if I have 0.2971 moles of this, then I'm going to need double of that for here, and I need the same amount for this one. So this will have, whoops, 0.2971 moles of sulfate ions, and it'll also have whatever that is times 2. Calculator. So 0.2971 times 2 is 0.5942 moles. So they're saying which solution contains the smallest number of ions. So now I just would add these two together. Typically, that's a funny thing to do. Like if I'm doing stoichiometry, I typically wouldn't do that. But if they say how many moles of ions you have, I've got this many moles of sodium ions and this many moles of sulfate ions. So to figure out the total number of ions, I'm just going to add those. So plus 0.2971, go. So this, my total ions for this first question would be 0.8913 moles. That's total. Okay, then I do the same thing for this one, and for this one, and for this one, and for that one. At least 2 of the above contain the smallest number. Oh, hopefully it's not that answer. Anyway, so you just do the same process for each one. Maybe I'll just do one more for you. Let's pick the iron 3 chloride. That one looks like a good one. I'll do this one. Okay, so I have iron 3 chloride. So it's a 3 plus, and chlorine is a 1 minus. So I need a 3 right there. Okay, good. Okay, and let's go through the same process as I did here. So to figure out moles, it'll be C times V. Concentration is 2 moles per liter times by the volume 0.1565 liters now. I converted it to liters. So the moles, if I double that, would be 31 something, 3130. Wish I could do that in my head. 0.1565 times 2. Yeah, I was right. 3130. 0.3130 moles. But that is of this compound, right, as a solid. But we know if I put it in water, iron 3 chloride, if I put that in water, will dissociate into iron ions and chloride ions. Okay, each of those aqueous. Balancing, there's 3 chlorines on the left, so I need to put a 3 there with the chlorine. So if I have 1 mole of iron chloride, 3 chloride, I get 1 mole of iron ions and 3 moles of chloride ions. So if I have 0.3130 moles of this stuff, I'm going to have the same amount of moles of that stuff, of the iron ions, and I'm going to have triple that of chloride ions. So what's that times 3? So this will be 0.9390 moles. So altogether, I've got, okay, let me add that, plus 313. So altogether, that's 1.252 moles of ions. Okay, so it's got some iron ions and some chloride ions, but that's my total ions. Here's my total ions for the sodium sulfate dissociation. So if I'm choosing between the two, that one, of course, is smaller number. But you have to do it for this one and this one too, and then you just pick the smallest number. All right, hopefully that helps you with that one.